Let me tell you about what we're working on here at the church. In January, we put in a letter of intent to the Juneau Community Foundation, and we anticipate putting in a grant in March for them. The program is Juneau Live. We also look to ask for monies through other organizations such as the Alaska Mental Health Trust, the Juneau Youth Activities Grant, and the Rasmussen Foundation. Juneau Live is a program that will utilize all of the wonderful equipment that we've been granted in the sanctuary here, but it's a lot more. We envision 3 different components to the program.
The COVID-19 pandemic drew our attention to all those people in our community who are isolated, perhaps because of age, perhaps because of physical disability, perhaps because of transportation, or the demands of their own household. They're already separated from the community. Then social distancing increased isolation, and we know that people need connections to thrive. The first component of Juneau Live is to get those people connected. We are going to train teams of people, we will bond, to go out to serve these individuals and use the tools that they have at their disposal, or perhaps by just using a $35 Fire Stick. Make sure that it's easy for people at home to dial into Juneau Live. We want them to be able to participate in meetings. We want them to be able to take advantage of telehealth. We know, for example, that JAMI wants to increase the availability of telehealth. In order for that to be beneficial, people need to be able to use it. There are people who have insights to contribute, who have abilities to teach, who would like to participate in group events, who would like to watch concerts or other productions, who maybe would just like to get some mental exercise, but they're overwhelmed or frustrated by not being able to connect easily. After we send people out to get them connected, we're going to check in with them once a month. Also make sure that they could contact their team they've already met if they need some additional support. We know that it's healthy for human beings, mentally, spiritually, physically, to be connected with others in the community. Even after the pandemic, there are people who aren't able to get out of whatever their space is. Let's make sure.
The second piece of the Juneau Live Outreach Program is production. It's great if we can put into people's hands either a device or help them get their devices hooked up so that they can view the output of the Juneau Live studio, but we have to give them something to watch or to participate in. So Juneau Live will produce either material for them, or we'll have meetings or things they can participate in. We've already started doing that with the first annual Southeast Alaska Virtual Pinewood Derby that was held in January. We had Cub Scout troops from all over Southeast Alaska participate virtually in the Pinewood Derby. There were hundreds of Pinewood Derby cars that were shipped in from all over Southeast Alaska, and the various Cub Scout troops, Cub Scout packs raced against each other. The track went straight down through the center of the sanctuary. The Scoutmasters and the local Scoutmasters ran the races for the Cub Scouts. The Cub Scouts from each pack participated on Zoom, and their parents and families were able to watch it. We've had over 500 views of that event. It's still online if you'd like to watch it. It was quite exciting. For that, it was a tremendous success for the Cub Scouts because they've never actually been able to compete against each other, because the packs eventually were able to compete their best cars against each other. That event was run by the RLC live staff, which worked, had a 2-hour tech rehearsal on the preceding Friday night, and then worked 5 hours that day to get the event out live. It was quite a challenging event for us, but it was a great experience, and they're already talking about having us do it next year. We also have been holding meetings for many organizations in town, including Polaris House and Jammy, who actually ended up holding their annual retreat that morning in here. They held it over here. Some of the Polaris House board members were online, and some of them were physically here. And so that was a great event. And other organizations have had their board meetings and other events in here, just like we hold our book club meetings in here sometimes, which are hybrid events, and other events in here, and which works quite well. We'll set it up in here. We have the cameras stationed around the event, and so people will be on Zoom on the various screens, and the other people will be in here socially distanced, and we have various cameras, so we can switch between the cameras, and we've got all the sound equipment so everyone can hear each other. It took us a long time to do this. If you participate in some early meetings, you can see that we were learning how to use all the technology to do these hybrid meetings. But as of now, I think we're one of the only organizations in town that has the ability to do this multi-camera, multi-microphone hybrid meeting events in here. And so the idea of Juneau Live is to extend that out to organizations that want to include more people that are shut into their homes or cannot come out of their homes for various reasons, even after the COVID pandemic has subsided. In doing that, we're also looking for programming. We've had organizations like yoga teachers or cooking shows, people like that who want to hold events, and for those people we'll help teach them how to use the studio, or we'll assist them in video production to do their own shows and things like that in this studio, and to make it available to organizations that want to learn to do that. So
The third component of Juneau Live is educational. We have all of this wonderful equipment. Wouldn't it be nice for people to have the opportunities in TV production and post-production? We can offer it to youth, to college students, and even adults. The Resurrection Lutheran Church Live production staff has over 60 years of experience. Wouldn't it be nice if we can share that with the community?